books like Asura, Ajaya, Vanara, and the Bahubali series. I had also written around 300 hours of screenplay for the popular television series like Siya Ke Ram, Chakravarti Ashoka, Mahabali Hanuman, Surfrosh in Netflix, and a few other shows. Presently, I am working on two films which should be coming in next year something. So that is my background as a writer almost for a decade. I also write columns in various newspapers, regular columns. Today is the day where I can tell you a few things. This is my master class for you. Even though there is only 15 to 20 minutes, this will be a brief introduction. This is a great occasion and an opportunity given by Times of India and the JK paper. The Author Awards, which they are constituted, is a great initiative. As you know, writing is one of the fascinating skills. Telling stories, rather, is a fascinating skill to have, a fascinating talent to have. Every writer is unique. Every writer brings a voice. So the Awards is a platform. Author, as pronounced as AUTHER, is a platform which gives women authors to express their creativity and their fondness for writing. It's a privilege to be part of the masterclass series. Today, I'll be talking about the art of screenwriting. I should congratulate JK Papers and Times of India for giving this opportunity. So, shall we enter this class? This is going to be a very short session. So, I will be only giving some glimpses of how a novelist or a short story writer can make the transformation to a screenplay writer. Let me first assure you there is nothing divine or great about screenplay writing. It is just another form of expressing stories. Stories can be told in many ways, right from the beginning of human civilization. Even before language was invented, stories used to be told. For example, we can see many of the picturographs in many of the caves of Neolithic or Paleolithic men or humans, I would say, because we don't know, both men and women would have written stories in that. They would have scratched the paintings and the stories on the walls. From 35,000 BC to even 90,000 BC, we have found stories etched to the walls. One of the most famous stories which all mothers tell to their children, the story of the crow, thirsty crow, the crow going to finding a pot of water and finding that the water is at the bottom of the pot. It doesn't know what to do. It is thirsty. So what it does is it puts stones into that so that the water level comes up and it drinks. This famous story, which is told by a mother, almost all mothers in India to their children, actually appears first as an Indus Valley scene almost 5,000 years ago. So this is to tell the antiquity of stories, and I think mothers are the greatest storytellers. I heard all the stories from my mother and from my father, of course, but the first story is always I heard from the mother. There is no better storyteller than a mother to their child, because every mother, if you see, is creative when they create the stories. So when you go to screenplay writing, what essentially are you doing is that you are putting your vision to the world. One fundamental difference between storytelling through films and through books is that the screenplay is not the final product. A book, when you write novels or when you write short stories, whether published in blogs or published as books, they are the final product from your side. You have completed it, you are the master of it, you have envisaged a story, you have a plot line, you have gone through the characters. Many master classes have been taken by prominent authors, very successful authors in the same program, so I am not going to repeat what they are told. If you have a book with you, you know that you, to an extent, your editor and the copy editor, if you have published the book, they are the people who are going to decide, and the cover designer and other people. So basically it comes as a final product. Whereas a screenplay is like a building plan. It is not the complete building. or a garden design. It's not the garden. It is bound to change as the building comes up. You are just giving a path or a guide or a map to the director to take the film or TV show or whatever it is. So what we have to, the first point is to understand is you are not the master of this. You are a servant when you are writing screenplay. I'm not telling it in a derogatory term. I am telling it so that you have to keep it in mind. Many of the authors who try to transform as screenplay writers will face a problem of this confusion, because as an author you are like God, right? When you are writing a novel, you are like a God. You can kill off the characters. When I was writing the Queen of Maheshwari, the last book of Bahubali series, I should tell my wife, today I had to kill 2 or 3 characters, some of the favorite characters, and she will say, why are you doing it? I loved that character. I say, precisely because of that I'm going to kill that character today. So you play God when you are writing a book. You can kill the character, you can give birth to a character, but when you do screenplay, up to an extent it is possible, but you don't have a complete freedom. Why? Because you call book writing an art, book writing literature. Films are art also, but they are an industry too. So one of the fundamental thing is that you are not the master of this universe. You are just one person in this scope. So it is subject to market forces. In the films, so many films or the TV, so many aspects are there. So many things will decide whether you can kill off some character. You cannot kill off the hero, because the film will be running on the brand name of the hero. You cannot kill off the heroine. Everyone will have a voice. So it becomes slightly more difficult. So you have to keep your ego at home and enter into this field. You have to be flexible in your mind when you are entering television or other things. Why I am telling this here is this: if you can buy a lot of books, you can have a lot of material is available on how to write screenplay. I'm not going to talk about how to write screenplay in depth, because I cannot do that in 30 minutes or 15 minutes, which I have allotted. But these are the tips which you should keep clearly in your mind. Keep your ego at home. It's very nice to have an ego, and all authors have ego, because we play God, right? All authors have ego. But when you go to a studio, when you go to a producer, you should not have your ego at all, and you should be open to suggestions. I will tell you the second reason for this. The second reason is that when you write screenplay, it is subject to the budget which a budget the producer allows. So I can write in a Bahubali book or my Asura book or whichever it is, wherever I have written as book, a huge war sequence. I can bring ships, I can bring this thing. Execution becomes a problem when you write the screenplay. So if you are a new writer, it means you have published your novels, but you are going to shift to screenplay writing. Keep this in mind. If it is larger than life, the chances of your book becoming a film diminishes that much, unless the book has taken huge success and a producer thinks economically it will be worth it. Because as you know, in India, majority of the payment goes to the star. Beyond that, to create the special effect, to create the visual delight which you can give through words, it's a Bhagirath's task or Herculean task, you put it. So if you write a huge war sequences and other things in your book, especially if people who are writing fantasy or people who are writing based on Puranas or mythology and all, this becomes a problem because of the budgetary constraint. Women authors, usually the way, I'm not saying everyone writes like that, but many of the women authors, when I read, I find that their stories revolve inside the mind of the character, which is actually an advantage. Because when you write, instead of huge adventures and other things, you are talking about emotions, and any stories, emotions is the first thing work. So keep this in mind. There will be a budgetary constraint. So write deep, not write vast, not write big, unless the story demands. I'm not saying to think small, but especially when you are starting, it is better to start with inside the mind of the character, go deep inside, think deeply on characterization. And third thing, don't write for stars. Films might be produced for stars, but don't put, I have seen many youngsters doing this, especially in Wattpad and all, when they write, many other formats when they write, they put the character of some popular star. Never write for that, because you'll be constrained. So when you write screenplay, those casting decisions have to be left to the director and the producer of the TV show or the films. If it helps your imagination, you can keep it, but don't write for them. How will the actor play it? Don't write that. It's a rookie mistake which many people will do. When you go with the screenplay, you will find that you get stuck at some